What is up, guys, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to be talking about another bass fishing cheater. Stay tuned. There are so many people cheating in these fishing tournaments, and apparently it's been going on since the beginning of the entire bass fishing scene. People just cheat. I guess it's kind of human nature for some. I mean, a lot of people, especially when money gets involved, people are going to cheat. There's going to be people out there that cheat. Not everybody now. There's going to be those few people who crawl out of the gutters and try to cheat to earn a buck. And something about the ego of it. I think a lot of these people are actually cheating because they're egotistical and they want to be the man, but they're not good enough to win on their own, or they're not dedicated enough to put in the work necessary to win these tournaments. So they try and take a shortcut and they cheat. It makes you really wonder how many of these cheaters get away with it and never get caught, because more and more keep springing up, like the guy we're going to talk about in this video. Now, this guy was caught. Now, we are going to say that he is an alleged cheater. So all this is allegedly, even though he was charged. We're just going to keep saying alleged, because yeah, I'm not trying to get sued, because that wouldn't be too much fun. But this guy named David Moore from St. John, Indiana, allegedly went out and tried to cheat during a bass tournament, but luckily somebody kind of caught him in the act, and we're gonna go ahead and dive into this video, so stay tuned. David Moore of St. John's, Indiana is facing multiple charges for what he tried to do. Allegedly, he was trying to cheat in a tournament. Again, we're gonna keep using that word, the big A word, allegedly. So he was allegedly videotaped, stashing smallmouth bass in like a boat slip, or yeah, I believe it was like a boat slip. A tugboat captain caught him. I saw what he was doing, could tell he was acting suspicious, and decided to report it to the authorities because something just didn't seem right. Why is this guy tying a basket of smallmouth bass, which, by the way, is my favorite fish to catch? And yeah, this is just wrong. Why would you do that? Why would you do that to my smallies, man? I love my smallies. But yeah, he was caught. But yeah, he was caught by this tugboat captain, tying these fish up in a big old basket. And they reported it. Sure enough, there was a tournament going on the next day. So allegedly, that's why he was stashing these bass. But the tugboat captain reported it to authorities. Following morning, conservation police went out to investigate, and they set up on the location. Apparently camouflaged or hidden or something, or David Moore just isn't too bright. This guy was like almost 50 years old. Like, why? What are you doing, bro? Way too old to be cheating at a local bass tournament. Wasn't even like a big event. I believe like the top payout was like $1,300. But anyway, the conservation police watched him pull the fish from the stringer. So actually it was a stringer that he had tied up, not a basket. Sorry about that. Last guy I did a video on used the basket. This guy used a stringer. But they watched him pull the fish up, put him in his live well. Through the investigation of the police, they determined that Moore had caught 4 smallmouth bass on May 10th in Lake Michigan near Hammond, Indiana, and imported the fish into Illinois without a permit. So apparently you need a permit to move them from state to state. They caught him. He wasn't allowed to fish a tournament. Had he been allowed to proceed, he would have won the tournament by more than 4 pounds, taking home the first place prize of $1,300. So I kind of wish they would have just let him, because it would have been more charges. They should have just let him do it. But they stopped him beforehand, which brought that he only got 2 Class A misdemeanors. So he was charged with 2 Class A misdemeanors and 4 Class B misdemeanors and 1 petty offense. He had a court date in Cook County. So, yeah, they should have, I think they should have just let him go through with it, because they could have got him for more. I'm not sure what grand larceny is, but that would have been close, I think. Depends on the state, I guess. I'm not really sure. But, yeah, so he caught these from Lake Michigan, brought them in to a different state. He was actually charged with being over the limit, I believe. So they got him for all the stuff they could get him for. They charged him for attempting to commit theft, possession of over the daily limit of 3 smallmouth bass, failure to immediately release smallmouth bass unharmed, taking and possessing smallmouth bass resulting in wanton waste, throwing fish wire on the bank water. Yeah, throwing fish wire on the bank water. So basically like littering. Yeah, so he actually took his stringer off these fish and then just threw it on the bank. So the guy just sounds like a complete asshole, you know, allegedly. But another guy gets caught cheating. I'm sure, like all these other ones, just probably got a slap on the wrist. Probably got to go home right after he was booked or whatever. Probably didn't even, maybe not even got booked. Maybe just had to show up for a court date. Got him for a bunch of misdemeanors. Sure, nothing really happened. This guy's probably still out there fishing some local tournament somewhere. Probably still cheating. That just seems to be a common theme. A lot of people, you know, if it's a big event, they disappear. A lot of these local guys just keep doing what they're doing, especially if they don't get in any trouble. Not a good look, though. Not a good look. You're going to cheat for $1,300. He would have won. He almost got away with it. If it wasn't for that tugboat captain, he probably would have got away with it. Pretty crazy stuff. He would have won by almost 4 pounds. That's wild. These guys never learn. These cheaters never learn. They just keep, more and more keep popping up. It's good that more and more keep getting caught. I mean, more people are aware of it now. More people are watching for it. And like a tugboat captain, like he wasn't even involved with the tournament that was going on the next day, but he just knew something was up and he reported it. So like even people who aren't necessarily even fishing or fishing the events or running the events are starting to look for it, because so many, I think people are just tired of it. People are tired of all the cheaters. Ruined bass fishing. I used to do a lot of kayak fishing tournaments, and there was a lot of cheating going on. I was helping run some of the organizations. We caught a few. A couple never got caught. Some of them, you know, just everyone kind of knew they were, but no one could ever catch them. I'm sure there were other ones that were slipping under the radar. It's going to happen. People are always going to cheat, and it does kind of ruin the sport for people, especially for people getting into it. I mean, if you want to get into tournament fishing and, you know, you find out all these people are cheating, it's kind of discouraging, kind of makes you not want to compete, you know? That's why a lot of people are getting out of it. Me personally, I just got too busy and kind of took a different route in my career, and that's more or less why I got out of tournament fishing. And every once in a while I'll still enter some event, but for the most part I just like to fish to have fun, and I like filming it. I like documenting my adventures, and that's just kind of the route I took. But to some, I can see it definitely being discouraging with all these dang freaking cheaters out there. I mean, there's people cheating in damn charity events. It's out of control. But yeah, guys, I don't know. Comment below. Let me know if you heard about this one. This one happened last year, I believe, in May of 2024. So a little bit over a year ago. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to look up and see if he was ever seriously charged or anything. Can't find anything, which that tells me I'm sure he pleaded down to like something silly and had to pay a fine. That's probably what it boiled down to. I kind of wish that they would let a lot of these cases, they let these guys, they stop them before they can actually like win the money. I kind of wish they would just let it go to where they actually turn in the fish, win the money, then take the money home. Because at that point, I think you can kind of get into some felony territory. The fact that you're stealing money now from the tournament organization and the other competitors, and you'd get in a lot more trouble. I think there'd be a lot more serious consequences. Not really sure why a lot of the tournament directors and the police intervene beforehand. I don't know, guys. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Should the police or tournament directors stop them in the act, or should they let them go through with it so that they can get more charges, or so that they can bring more charges upon the people cheating, you know, allegedly? But all right, guys, that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.